reality shifting didn't affect me negatively. What affected me negatively was people saying that I was insane because I believed in it. I have a Bo Burnham song stuck in my head. I'm gonna talk about reality shifting because it's something that needs to be talked about. I've seen a lot of perspectives on the internet from people who were never involved in reality shifting, and I feel like we need a more compassionate point of view, which is where I come in. Hi, I'm Annika. I used to be a reality shifter. It's complicated. I just realized I was leaning forward the whole time. I was supposed to lean back like this. Also, I'm sorry, I'm currently sick, which you can probably hear. So that's what's going on right now. I said I used to reality shift. I don't know if I would put it quite like that because I never actually succeeded in reality shifting. And for like the last year or so, I haven't really been trying. I mean, like, I kind of have, but like also not really. It's complicated and I will explain later. But right now I want to talk about what reality shifting is. From an insider point of view, I was in the trenches. This is something that I know really well, and I wanted to talk about it from my point of view. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what reality shifting is. If you guys already know what reality shifting is, then I will put the time on the screen to skip to the part where I'm not talking about what it is exactly, because I know a lot of people already know what reality shifting is and what it's about. And I also saw that Strange Aeons, honestly, don't know how to say their name. I saw that they did a video on reality shifting and I watched it and I thought it was really good. To be honest, the beginning part of mine is quite similar. I did have it, I wrote this part before I watched theirs, but I'm gonna like go about mine the same way that I wrote it out. I think that their video was really, really good. It did approach the topic with compassion. I feel like you can't truly explain something like reality shifting unless you were in it, unless you were involved in the like daily drama and all the shit that went down on TikTok, all the beliefs, all of like the trends, and I was, so I'm gonna talk about it. Reality shifting is the belief that you can move your consciousness from one universe to another, basically like transplanting your consciousness from your brain to another brain, and that other brain is one of your choosing in like a parallel universe. Or like, parallel universe is not the right way to put it. The multiverse theory, right? The multiverse theory is a big part of the belief behind reality shifting. It's basically one of the core pillars of reality shifting. There is a sect of reality shifters who don't believe in the multiverse theory, but that was more popular in like 2021. It's not really in anymore. And I'm not going to talk about that. The multiverse theory is basically that there's an infinite amount of universes. And if that's the case, then there's also infinite amount of universes where any different thing happened. Like, I had toast for breakfast this morning. There's another universe where I had cereal for breakfast and everything was the same. There's also a universe where I still had toast, but I ended up dying because I was hit by a bus. And then there's infinite versions of that one as well, because that's how infinity works. Infinity, it's endless. So there's an infinite amount of universes where I was hit by a bus this morning after having toast for breakfast. And there's also an infinite amount of universes where I was stepped on an elephant in the streets of Dublin and killed that way instead. And there's also one where I survived that. There's infinite amount of universes of all of these things. Any scenario, anything could be different. Like, there's infinite amount of universes that are exactly the same to the one you're living in right now as well. So therefore, there is a universe where the Avengers are real. And there's a universe where you are one of the Avengers. And there's a universe where this other person is part of the Avengers, and you've decided that that person, you're gonna go be them. That part didn't make sense, sorry. If there's an infinite amount of universes, there's a universe where Harry Potter is real. There's actually an infinite amount of universes where Harry Potter is real. And then there's an infinite amount of versions of Harry Potter where you date Draco Malfoy. And there's also an infinite amount of universes where you actually kill Draco Malfoy, and then marry his mother. And then there's even more infinite, there's like, I don't, like, this is like, there's infinite, there's like, it's endless, it's never ending. That's the point of infinity. Yeah, I hope you get my point with that. That's the main theory behind reality shifting. And the thought is that if there's infinite amount of universes, if there's a different universe for anything that you can ever imagine, then you can move your consciousness from the one you're in right now to another one. And there's a whole thing with different ways you can help yourself shift. There's different ways to help yourself focus on the reality that you want to go to, like scripting, for example. It used to be in the beginning of reality shifting on TikTok, people said it was necessary. It's not required. It's meant to help you narrow down the universe that you are going to. The more detailed, the more specific, and therefore, hopefully, the easier it would be for you to get there. That's another thing I saw in the Strange Aeons maybe video. I don't know how to say their name. I feel so bad. I probably should have looked that up. That's another thing I saw in that video, is that they kept saying that it was like supposed to be a fun, easy thing, and that TikTok advertised it as a fun, easy thing. That was never my experience. People said it's as easy as breathing. Once you do it, you understand that it's easy. But the vast majority of people in the shifting community were like, this is hard. This is really hard. If you have to train yourself to be able to do this, it's going to take a while, and it will happen basically when you least expect it to. Scripting in general, you can literally write down anything. Your relationship with other characters, what you're like, your romantic, like, interest and the details about them. Like, you can script how big your significant other's dick is. And you can also script that, I don't know, like, there's a bunch of shit that you can script, like, me remembering all the embarrassing things that I scripted. Listen, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that, please. Thank you. You can also script to change people's ages if you want, so there was a whole, like, moral dilemma on Shift Talk for a while, where they were like, if you shift there as an 11-year-old and you are an adult in your current reality, and eventually you have romances with these characters in, like, 5th year or 6th year, that's wrong and that's pedophilic. So people were like, you can actually, well, not people, were like, you can script to make the characters older, so you could have it be more of a Harry Potter university type thing. And it was generally believed that that was, like, the morally correct thing to do. There's also a lot of, like, rules on Shift Talk about shifting that weren't actually rules. For example, you can't script that you're a different race, and if you do, you're a bad shifter. That's not okay. Specifically, there's nuance to this as well, because if it's, like, for aesthetic purposes, then that's bad. Like, for example, there was a period where I wanted to do a Twilight DR. DR equals desired reality. That means a reality that you're trying to shift to. There was a Twilight DR, and I was like, it would be cool if I could be a Quillette, however the fuck you say, you know, Jacob's tribe's name. But the rules on TikTok were that you can't be a different race. There's a lot of different rules like that in place on TikTok and in the shifting community in general. Then there's stuff like methods. There's so many methods to help you get there. Methods are not necessary, but they can help you get there. And there's so many methods. There is a new method made every week. I can put a bunch of popular ones on screen right now, but I will also list a few. There's the void state, the ADHD method, the stairway method, the hallway method, the Alice in Wonderland method. There's a bunch. That's only a few. There's also the Suni method. That was one of my favorites. And the Alice in Wonderland one was also one of my favorites as well. And the void state. Void state is a crazy thing that we don't even get to talk about right now because it's, like, a lot and it's complicated, and that will make the video, like, 5 times too long. Anyway, that's it for, like, explaining what reality shifting is. So anyone who left and came back, welcome. You missed so much. Like, I can't believe that you would leave. I said a lot of cool stuff. Like, how dare you? How dare you skip that? You're a terrible person. I'm sorry. I needed to like guilt trip them. Half of what I said wasn't scripted actually, so I didn't know like if there was going to be anything important. I actually don't remember anything I said. Guys, this is a problem. Whenever I never remember anything that I've said, and then I go around saying the same things again and again and again, and my friends are like, "Annika, girl." Anyway, my relationship with shifting has gone through many phases. Doubting its existence while still actively trying to shift, to fully believing in it 100%, to now, which is like my relationship with shifting right now is really difficult and hard to explain. I first heard about reality shifting when I was like 18 or 19-ish. I know that the first time I got really into reality shifting was in like October of 2021, because that's when I made my first script online. I know I had a script before that, but it wasn't online. My first online script was from like October 2021, and it's also when I made my shifting account on TikTok. I was originally trying to shift to the MCU and Percy Jackson, but over the years there have been so many different DRs. DR equaling desired reality as a universe that you want to go to. I can't remember all of them. I probably have forgotten a bunch as well that they're just not in my brain anymore, but I'm gonna name the ones I can from the top of my head. Not the top of my head because I wrote them down because I'd never be able to remember this many actually, but close. So we have Percy Jackson, MCU, Harry Potter Golden Trio era, Harry Potter Happy Harry, that was literally what it's called, Happy Harry Potter DR, Marauders era, Modern Marauders era, Fame AU Marauders era. No, Fame AU Marauders. There was the Twilight one that I mentioned earlier. There was an MCU version 2, a second version of the first MCU one that I made. There was an Andrew Garfield Christmas DR, an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man DR, a Taylor Swift DR, a 911 DR, and a Stranger Things DR. There are also literally so many more that only got into like the vaguely planning stages. Like anytime I would watch or read a piece of media that I was really into, my brain would immediately start building a DR for it, and most of them never got past the initial planning stages. Like, there was literally an Encanto DR for a hot sec there. Like, it never got past the planning stage. It was all in my brain, never got written down, but it existed. I was about to be Camilo's twin, like, hey. I was trying to decide if in the DR, would these characters look like cartoons or would they look like real people? That was a debate on Shift Talk as well. It was like, if you are going to a place that's animated, do they look animated or do they look real? And it was generally believed that you could choose which one that it was. And even still, like, when I watch or read something that I really like, I will start building a world for myself in that canon. Like, I will insert myself into the story somewhere. Not always as myself, actually rarely as myself, because there on Shift Talk there's this belief that if you make it too personal, if you make it the exact copy of yourself in every single DR, then your CR, your current reality, your original reality, this reality, becomes less special, becomes less important. Keeping, like, basically Annika Gardina to this reality is important. I had a few DRs where my name was Annika, and I looked the same, but there was never any where I had the same family. My family's extremely important to me, and so that's like, I would never script that my family is also in there and they're still my family, because that's something that needed to be exclusively to my CR so that it remained special and it remained a place that I would go. That's another part of the shifting thing that I will talk about later, but I don't know if I'll remember to like connect it to this part specifically about like psychosis and people saying that shifters will forget what's real, confuse reality with not reality. And I think that this idea of keeping your current reality, and keeping it separate from your desired realities, it was a big thing on TikTok, and that was I think like that plays into what my point is going to be later about people talking about shifters and being kind of insane. I'm gonna talk about that. I will, because I have thoughts about that. Like I was saying before my brain got derailed, when I watch or read something that I really like, I will start building a DR for it in my brain. Normally as I go to sleep, like in my brain I'll just think about what my character would be like, what it would be doing in certain situations, stuff like that. But like I said, I don't know if I believe in it anymore, and I actually don't think that I do. Sometimes I think that I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I just wish it was true. I don't know, it's complicated. Like, some nights I go through the motions of trying to shift. Like, if there's a meditation that I do, or like fucking ambiance thing that I associate with a DR, and I'll play that and I'll think about the DR, but I won't actually try to shift. I mean, like, I will. This is so hard to explain. Let me actually read from my script here. Some nights I go through the motions of trying, like listening to a certain meditation. Oh my god, guys, I'm just gonna read the script. Just ignore me having my face pointed away, because I'm just gonna read the script because I can't get this line out. Some nights I go through the motions of trying, like listen to a certain meditation that I associate with a DR, but it doesn't really go further than that. They're kind of like a bedtime imagination thing for me now. I think about them before I go to sleep, but I don't actually really try to go there. I'm pretty sure the last time I actually tried to reality shift was before the new year. It would have been like November 2023 or something like that. So it's been a while. Another thing is, I shifted for men. I don't know if you guys can see on my wall over here. You can barely see. I don't want to move the camera. That's a lesbian flag right there. I'm a lesbian. I'm gay as fuck, bro. But when I was shifting, if I had a non-platonic relationship in a DR, it was with a man. And that caused a huge crisis for me in my own sexuality struggle. I talked about this before on my channel, actually, in my video, Bad Video Essays and Its Effect on a Baby Queer. Actually, still don't know if I spelled effect wrong on there or not. Someone commented that I did, but I actually really don't know. And I keep saying that I'll look it up, but I never do. So if someone could tell me, that'd be great. Actually, that'd be lovely. It has changed over the years though. Recently, if I created a DR, it would not be shifting for a man anymore. It would be for a woman. I think recently, as in I would say the last 9 months or so, the last pregnancy time period or so, I had started creating DRs to be with women, fictional women, and also Taylor Swift. I think it plays into the thing with lesbians and the need for male validation, the thing where you can like the idea of being with a man but not actually want to be with a man, or they talk about how if you can have a crush on a man, but if you think about actually being with them, being in a relationship, having sex with them, and when they're actors or fictional characters, people who are generally out of reach, that is kind of common for lesbians to have these, I don't know, attachment to these types of men. There's a lesbian manifesto out there somewhere. I need to find it. I need to reread it. I need to fucking send it to her. She's going through some shit right now. Also, my friend literally having a sexuality crisis as we speak. She's down bad for a man. She thought she was a lesbian. Damn, that's crazy. That's wild. Right now, how I feel about shifting is very complicated, and I know I keep saying that. I'm sorry. Let me continue. I am in a very different mental state now than I was when I first discovered reality shifting, but it's still something that I find great comfort in, and I think it's something that I will continue finding a lot of comfort in. I don't think I can ever really truly explain my relationship with shifting in a way that is cohesive, because I actually can't speak. My brain just doesn't work. I could it would take me days and weeks and constantly being at the ready to write down whenever I have a thought about it, but it's really hard to actually describe where I'm at with my relationship with shifting. I think what I've said in this video so far has been pretty accurate to where I'm at with it, and has been pretty yeah, I don't know, like, representative of my relationship with shifting. Another thing that I really want to talk about in this video is people talk about reality shifting. You know, those big YouTubers who've done videos on reality shifting, and they've called these people who do reality shifting crazy. They called them, like, insane. They're, like, going into psychosis, whatever. And I have some thoughts on that. And this part, I need y'all to hear me out and know that I'm not coming after any religion. I'm purely using religion as a comparison to try to, like, contextualize the belief in shifting. I found that has worked in the past for helping people understand shifting, so I'm gonna do it now. And I don't mean it in any kind of aggressive way. Cool? Please don't get mad at me. Because, like, it's kind of like a religion, right? It's kind of like a religion. Reality shifting is the belief in something. Christians believe in a God, and reality shifters believe in the ability to reality shift. It does feel different, though, from religion, and I will say that. I think it has to do a lot with the level of respect that reality shifting gets versus Christianity gets. People talk online about reality shifting and that it's just lucid dreaming or, like, putting yourself in a psychosis or something like that. And that's a pretty common take to see about reality shifting. But you don't... I mean, there are always people who will call Christians insane for believing in God, but you don't see people making YouTube videos about Christianity and saying these people clearly have psychosis because they believe in a deity that's above everything else. That's the other thing too, lucid dreaming. Back to that. Hold up for a sec. Pause. We gotta talk about lucid dreaming for a sec. It is a big, like, element to reality shifting, but there is a lot of talk and speculation that reality shifting is just like lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming and reality shifting are very closely connected. They are not the same. Reality shifters like to point out that people used to say lucid dreaming was fake, and then it was proven that it was real. So now reality shifters point to that and say, look, people said that this thing couldn't be real, and it was. So what we do as well, it's real. Right? And the whole psychosis thing, I've literally had someone tell me to my face that reality shifters are just inducing psychosis. Like, literally right after I told them that I was into reality shifting, they said, I think that reality shifters are inducing psychosis. Like, they're putting themselves into psychosis. Psychosis, from my very basic understanding of psychosis, it's when you confuse what is real and what is not. And I don't think that this should have any correlation with shifting at all. With reality shifting, you are acknowledging that you're leaving your current reality and going to a new one. That where you're going is not where you currently are. It's like your consciousness or your soul is taking a trip. I actually think that reality shifters are really good at telling the difference between what is real and what is not, because they practice so much at telling the difference, especially if we include lucid dreaming in this. Not as in, like, that is the same, but, like, as a step in the way to shifting. Like, reality shifters work so hard to be able to tell when you go from one reality to another, and we pay attention to what is real and what is not. Like, some say that these, like, methods induce lucid dreaming, and that is true, that they can induce lucid dreaming. If you are lucid dreaming and you don't know if you're lucid dreaming or if you've shifted, this is a very commonly talked about thing on Shift Talk. And in the shifting community, we practice ways to tell if you're in your desired reality or just lucid dreaming. Back to the Christianity parallel thing, saying that reality shifting induces psychosis is kind of like saying Christianity induces psychosis. Let me explain. Stop getting mad. I'm not saying that all Christians are in psychosis, or whatever the verb would be. I don't want to say insane because that sounds wrong. Just take a breath. Hang on. There isn't really any reason that you would say Christianity induces psychosis or that people who believe in the Christian God are in psychosis, because it doesn't make sense. What I can tell you is that reality shifters never confuse their current reality with the one they are trying to go to. They never wake up in this world and think, I am in my desired reality. Because you design your desired reality to be different. As for the lucid dreaming thing, the thing that people say, that the idea that reality shifting is just lucid dreaming, they are two very different things. Because you know when you remember a dream that you have, if you ever remember, it's like weird. It's crazy. I literally once had a dream that my father ran a boba mafia, like that drink, like the drink boba. Like there was a boba mafia and we were on the run from another boba mafia that was trying to kill us. I'm not shitting you. That's a dream that I had. There was a maze. So like when you have dreams, they're weird. Dreams are weird. Dreams are not based in reality whatsoever. But when you shift realities, you are actually shifting from one real place here to another real place. It's real. It's not a dream. Like when you breathe on your hand, you can feel that in your desired reality the same way that you would feel it here. Unless you script that you like don't need oxygen or something. Like, I don't know. Reality shifting is it's so like fun to talk about actually, because there's so many different like things. There's so many different like, I don't know, like nuances that you can talk about. As for the truth in all of this, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really think I believe in reality shifting anymore. But I did want to clear up some things that I saw most often connected to shifting, like the psychosis thing and the lucid dreaming thing. Here's the deal as well, right? Do I no longer believe in reality shifting because of what I've seen people say online? I don't think so. I don't think so. But at the same time, whenever I would see someone say negative things about reality shifting or say that's crazy, reality shifting isn't real, I would always doubt it more, and I'd feel so heavy about it, like a stone in my stomach. I would feel so like it was just a really weird feeling to have someone like invalidate your belief system like that. Is like, it's a lot, especially when it's someone that you look up to, like certain YouTubers who have done videos on reality shifting. I don't think that I stopped believing in reality shifting because of that. I don't think it's because people said that it was weird and crazy. I do think that might be part of it though. Like, I don't know. It's really confusing to me. Like, my process of belief, it just doesn't really ebbs and flows. I can't explain it. Like, that's just how my brain is. Part of the reason I'm not into reality shifting anymore as well is because it can be so exhausting. Trying so hard every night, believing in something, every day attempting to make this thing come true, to push yourself to shift realities, and every day not succeeding. There comes a point where you're so exhausted, and if you don't shift, it's your fault. It's because of you. You are the one controlling your shifting. That is the narrative on TikTok in the shifting community. And part of me thinks I may have stopped believing in it because I was protecting myself from more self-confidence issues. Like, I don't need to blame myself if I don't believe in it anymore. And I was always pretty good at not blaming myself, but there were days and like times, and it's like, why? Like, this should be working. I'm doing everything that people say I should be doing. Why isn't it working? Like, I just want it to work. I literally, like, that's the one thing. If I had one wish in the entire world, it would be for me to be able to do this. And after a while, it gets exhausting. It gets so tiring. And like, there's stuff like mini shifting and stuff. I'm pretty sure that I did. Hold up, guys. Back the fuck up. Because I don't actually remember. But I know at the time I believe that I did. And I don't remember now exactly what those circumstances were. But I remember thinking that I was like, oh, I mini-shifted. And that was like, I was like, damn, it's real. Like, blah, 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 blah. The other thing is, in my brain, I was like, why wouldn't it be real? Like, why? What's to say it's not real? There's as much evidence for it being real as there is for it not to be real. And I would take those chances if it means that I can go, like, spend a fucking day with, literally Sirius Black or something. Like, even, like, when I was writing the script, when I was writing it, there were phases. But when I was writing this part, I was like, God, I can't believe I ever believed any of this. Like, that's so weird and random. Like, can't believe that I would believe this. But, like, I still kind of believe it. And to be honest, making this video has made me be like, wait a damn minute. Maybe it is real. And I don't really have the, like, energy to, like, think that right now. I don't really have the energy to be like, I'm gonna go reality shift every night. I think also it's just like, when you actively believe that you can do it and then you'll do it every single day, like, that you really think that you can do it, is justifiable the amount of effort you put into it. But when you are like, I don't know if it's real, I don't know if I want to do this, then it's like, I have to do stuff for this world as well. I don't want to put in so much effort to something that I don't know will happen or not. And that, based on my past years of experience, hasn't happened so far. Also, sorry, I keep leaning, like, in way closer to the camera, and I feel like I'm just like, hello? I apologize for that. I'm trying really hard not to. There's no back to this. Normally I'd be back. There's no back. I could just fall. This is my bed. Like, what if it is real? Fucking, like, reality shifting is as real as God. I can put it like that. That's a true statement. We don't know. We don't have any proof either way. There's people who say they have reality shifted, just like there's people who have said they've seen their guardian angel or they've communicated with God, right? Do you get what I mean? Do you see where I'm coming from with this? Like I said, I'm not trying to go after Christianity. I fully respect all religions. I was raised Catholic, went to Catholic church my whole life, live next to a Catholic church. That doesn't count for anything. I'm just trying to make a comparison that is, you know, when people talk about reality shifting, I feel like it's hard to contextualize. And I feel like religion is something that you can use to contextualize it more. So now saying, like, I don't know if I believe in it. I don't know. And like I said, writing this video, I was like, is it actually real? Like, maybe it is real. Maybe it's real. But the whole point of this video is reality shifting, what it's like from the inside. I'm talking a lot about my experience. There's a bit more. My experience with reality shifting was mostly positive. Like, despite saying how exhausted I was, it was mostly good. It was mostly really good. It gave me something to look forward to every night, a reason to keep going, you know? I got a lot out of it, even if I didn't actually reality shift. A huge part of shifting is meditation and taking care of yourself. And I learned so much about spirituality and meditation while trying to shift. At the point when I was really deep into shifting, I was on a gap year, 2021, 2022, that school year. I was on a gap year because the year before, had been diagnosed with an eating disorder, and I was still needing pretty intense weekly therapy for it. So I couldn't go to school. Like, I took a year off because I was going through some pretty heavy mental health things, like an eating disorder, other things like that I don't really want to get into. I think I've talked about before. And I've seen people say that, like, reality shifting preys on people who are in situations like that it finds people who are vulnerable like that and, like, corrupts them to believe this. Or, like, someone who is having a difficult time with their mental health is more susceptible to believing in reality shifting. But I actually really think that reality shifting helped me during this year, because a big part, like I said, of reality shifting is spirituality and meditation and wellness and clear mind. And, like, there were ways, I'm not gonna say how effective they were. There were, like, ways and tips on how to make it easier on your mind to shift, like drinking more water, having a clean room, having a clean space around you gave you a more clear mental space. It made you more able to focus on reality shifting, right? And so those were things that I did to help myself try to shift realities. And I don't think that I would have done those things if it weren't for reality shifting, because it was a bad mental health. It was really bad. Like, it was bad. I don't think that I would have had the energy or the, like, motivation to clean my room or to drink water or to, like, try to keep my mind a positive and not dark and, like, it kept my mind bright, basically. Because I had to. Because if I wanted to reality shift, I had to have like, my mind had to be in a good place. And reality shifting was the only thing I wished for. I wanted to do it so bad, and I was willing to do these really difficult mental health, like, turnarounds and these things that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, because it might help me shift realities. I've also seen a lot of people say that, like, people who believe in reality shifting are just stagnant. They're just staying in one place, not doing anything with their life, because they believe that they can go to another reality and live another reality there. Two things with this. Number one, reality shifters believe that you always come back. There is a thing called perma-shifting. I'm not going to get into it. It's very controversial. Anyway, not going to get into that. But reality shifters believe that you always come back. You always come back to this reality. So you have to continue keeping this reality good and safe and positive and productive for yourself, because you will always come back. You will always have this reality. And that was actually a lot of stuff that I saw online in the shifting community, was like, don't, like, give up on your current reality, because it's your current reality. It's where, like, this is where you are. There was also, like, a whole thing of, like, don't put your desired reality on a pedestal. Don't put it on a pedestal or raise your CR on a pedestal as well. Romanticize doing things in your current reality the way you romanticize doing things in your desired reality. Or de-romanticize doing things in your desired reality, because at the end of the day, they're just, they're equally real. The second element to this, the whole stagnant thing, is my experience with it, which is, like, that is absolutely not my experience with reality shifting. That year was hard for many reasons. Reality shifting made it better. I was not stagnant during this year, and especially the years following, I was not stagnant. I was in school at that point, the year after. But, like, even during the gap year, I was doing things. I was in therapy. I was working on making myself better. I was applying to schools in the US and abroad, which is where I am now. Because of the actions that I took in that gap year, I am now living this life here in Dublin. I live in Dublin because I, in that year, took the initiative to apply to a school here. That's not something that someone stagnant would do. If I'd given up on this reality because of the belief that I could go somewhere else, I would not be here. This, me, is proof that, like, it's not a stagnant thing. I also, like, I want to point out, I didn't, like, apply to, like, 2 or 3 schools. I applied to, like, 10 schools. That's a lot. That's a fucking lot for someone who's, like, struggling with their mental health. That's a lot for someone like that to do. And it was a lot for me to do. And I did it. And even if I did it. Like, the fact that I was also, like, trying to shift realities had nothing to do with that. I was still living my life here while also thinking about and planning other lives in other places, in other universes. That made me happy. And I know it's kind of silly and ridiculous that you could think that you can go to Harry Potter land and experience being a wizard. Like, I know that sounds so silly. Like saying, oh, you can go to sleep here and wake up in Harry Potter. Like, not in Harry Potter. Jeez, I mean, you could if you wanted to. Hang on, guys, I cannot breathe. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, I know it sounds kind of silly and ridiculous that you could go to sleep here and wake up in Harry Potter land. Like, that sounds crazy. There is something to be said for people hating on things that young girls like. This is a young girl dominated belief system. The majority of people who believe in reality shifting are teenage girls. And there's something to be said for people dismissing things that teenage girls like and like doing as frivolous and like unimportant. They do this with like book talk, with books that people consider shallow or unimportant just because young girls like them. The girl I'm seeing currently, she does horseback riding. And there's this whole like horse girl like thing, which is based on a few things, but we're not getting into that. But like the amount of strength and energy it takes to ride a horse, and especially to compete, is insane. Like, you have to train so hard for that, and yet it's treated like it's like it's treated like it's, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by this? Like, do you know what I mean? People see things that girls like and immediately say, no, that's not real. That's frivolous. That's silly. That's, not something that grown-ups would be into. So I think that's also the element of dismissal and other things like that. Here's the thing. People say that believing in reality shifting is damaging to your mental health. The thing that was actually the most damaging to my mental health was not reality shifting. It was not believing in reality shifting. It was seeing people constantly attack reality shifting and saying, these people are crazy. I can't believe they would believe in this thing. That is what was the worst for my mental health during this period. During this, like, in terms of reality shifting. The most difficult parts were like people saying, oh, they're crazy, they're insane, they're inducing psychosis. That is what was bad for my mental health, not reality shifting. So please, for the love of fucking God, stop saying that people who believe in reality shifting are insane, or that they're inducing psychosis, or that they're crazy, or that it's so silly, I can't believe that you wouldn't believe that. Stop saying that. Literally let people do what they want to do. Like, God, I got serious. Like, that's, like, it's true. It's true. That part was the worst part. Like, reality shifting was fine. Reality shifting didn't affect me negatively. What affected me negatively was people saying that I was insane because I believed in it. That's just it. Point blank. And when reality shifters hear that, they shut down. Like, once you hear someone say, you're insane because you believe in this, you shut down. You're not going to listen to another goddamn point that person makes. People saying that reality shifters are insane are not talking to reality shifters. They're talking to other people who also think that reality shifting is insane. Even if someone has some good points about reality shifting maybe not being real, or is like skeptical of it and wants to have a conversation about it, once you say reality shifters are inducing psychosis, reality shifters are insane, once you say those things, reality shifters are done. They're not listening to you anymore. This is as important to them as God is to Christians. It's so ingrained in us. We believe in it so much. It's so important. Yeah. I saw a tweet the other day of someone saying something along the lines of, can you believe that, like, people used to believe in reality shifting, or something like that? And the replies were just full of what I've just been saying. Calling reality shifters insane, saying that they are inducing psychosis, saying that they're damaging their mental health, saying, like, they should go to fucking, like, mental hospitals. I'm sorry? Like, huh? Why do you think it's okay to say these things about real people who are statistically young girls, children, teenagers? Why do you think that's okay? I don't understand why this much hate is necessary. It's okay if you don't believe in reality shifting. It's okay if you want to talk about that, but this is not the way to go about it. And despite me, my script then changes, like, jumps topics. I feel like this needs, I don't know, a nice ending. This section, at least. Someone said the other day, I watched in Strange Aeons video. The reality shifter that was on in that video said that nobody ever really has good points as to why reality shifting is not real. And that's true. You never really hear much besides, oh, that's, like, they're crazy. That's insane that it's so silly that they believe that. If you really, want to talk about reality shifting not being real and you want to, like, actually have a conversation about it, come up with good points to say. Like, let's have a conversation about it. Let's not, like, go around calling people crazy and insane and yeah. Here's the thing as well, right? Despite having defended reality shifting for most of this video, I still don't know, like, I don't think I believe in it anymore. I don't think I believe in it. Here's the deal though. So much of my identity, 2021 through 2023 basically, was wrapped up in reality shifting. That was a big part of my online identity, not the identity that I showed my friends, because I was embarrassed to say that I was a reality shifter. But I have a TikTok account. The TikTok account the only one that I actually post on, I have a few, one just for, like, lurking around. The one I post on is literally called Shifting with Annika. And I'm like, do I change that name now? Like, I love making videos. Literally, this is one of my favorite fucking things to do. I love just sitting here and talking about things that I find interesting, and the dream is that maybe someday I could make a career from it. Does my TikTok that I actually post on, is that being called Shifting with Annika, is that going to be bad? Do I need to change it? Should I change it now that I've moved on, from that point in my life? Do I take down the old videos that I posted about reality shifting? Because I'm a sentimental person. That tells a story of me, like, throughout my journey as becoming the person I am right now. What I posted, like, that is part of me. And I know that sounds, like, fucking ridiculous. They're just TikToks, but, like, truly and honestly, I feel weird about taking them down. And I feel weird about changing my name on TikTok. So, I don't know. Like, that's a question that I have for anyone watching. Should I change my username? And should I take down those videos? Because now I don't really post about reality shifting. I mostly post about, like, Marauders, fanfiction. I actually post, like, once every blue moon now. I used to post a lot about reality shifting, actually. Well, who would have thought? But, you know, like, is it embarrassing that I believed in it once? I don't think it's embarrassing. But, like, do other people think it's embarrassing? What the fuck am I saying? Like, if I don't think it's embarrassing, it's not, like, that's, like, a personal thing. But, like, I don't know. Like, do you see my mental, like, struggle here? Do you see what I'm, like, grappling with? I'm saying that like it's so serious. Guys, it's literally just like my TikTok, but it has been weighing on me, like, for, like, the past while. Especially because if I want to post on my TikTok about my YouTube videos, they don't have the same username. They don't, like, do I make another one? Do I keep posting on this one? It's a lot. I'm, like, I don't know. It's hard to wrap this video up in a nice, neat little way, because I've said so much. It's hard to make a conclusion out of all of that, especially because I tend to forget everything I say once it comes out of my mouth. Yeah, I don't know. Have compassion. Listen to people. Don't be mean. Oh, fucking was gonna say, anyone who's still here, reality shifting to me is so fucking, like, ingrained in me. Like, my sister and I have matching reality shifting necklaces with the symbol. The reality shifting symbol is on my wall here twice, actually. And I don't want to take it down. And when people ask about it, I'm like, oh, it's just something that my sister and I share, like, blah, blah, blah. But, like, it's still so important. I don't know. It's still so important to me. There's so much about it that it's just, my brain is dead. I'm done. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I literally love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's so long, number one. I just have a lot of thoughts about this. Number two, it's been about a month since I've posted, and for literally like the 3 people who follow me posting like all my posts, I'm sorry, it's been a month. It's been literally the entire month of March. At first I was like, oh, I'll just take a break for my birthday. And then the week for my birthday turned into a month. This is why I was so adamant about posting a video every week. Because I just like, if I stop, then I will not post like ever again. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I love you. I don't know if you can hear the beeping in the background. That's my roommate. Oh my god, my eye. Thank you so much for watching. Be kind. Love. Oh my god, hang on. Love. Bye. Cause baby, I can build a castle. Hold up. Is this crooked? Out of all the bricks they threw at me. I should get like a level or something. This is not gonna, this microphone situation is not gonna work. I should have gotten that like arm thing. I thought about it, but like I was like, I can't, like the amount of money I can't justify. We can like, I don't know. It'll just stay here. Hopefully it's fine. I should do like backup audio, but if it doesn't work out, we can just record again, and I'll be very upset, but it will be fine. Anyway, that's not important. Do you guys like my lizard? I really think I have ADHD. Like, genuinely. What happens when you give a girl a pink microphone and the ability to talk about whatever the fuck she wants? This, apparently. Like, I don't know. You guys want to see my... No, they don't. No, stop. They don't want to see your really cool mug with a nose. Look at my really cool mug with a nose. Isn't that crazy? It has a nose. Can you see that? Look, a mug with a nose. There's a spoon in it because I had honey in there and I wanted to stir it because I'm sick. Bitches and hoes. Hoes. I'm actually so sick. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Roommate shit. I don't even know what he's doing. Oh fuck. Reading from my script is harder than I thought, guys. Some nights I go through the motions of trying, like, listen to a certain meditation. Fuck me in the ass. I'm gonna die. I can't. Deep breaths. Annika, pass Annika, delete what I just said, because, like, trash. Like, we don't... Fuck me in the ass, guys. Maybe I should title this video In Defense of Reality Shifting. No, actually, I do like the name that I have chosen for this one now, but that would be a good title. I'm gonna copyright it. I'm gonna do another video about that. I keep getting scared. My computer keeps shutting off, and I'm like, I'm recording on my computer. My computer's here. I'm doing Bluetooth with my phone. My phone's my camera. It's a lot, guys. My computer keeps turning off, and I keep being like, oh my god, what if it deletes everything? It hasn't so far. But it also, the recording keeps glitching. So like when I go like this, it'll go, ooh, 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 and I'll be like, I'm sorry. Pray in my, oh. No, my girl, my love of my sister's trying to call me. No. No. I can't do that right now, love. I'll call her in a sec.